I'm Candace, and I'm a human services student at Richmond Community College. Today, I am going to tell you about a case study that I have done or developed. And the case study is actually one that's pretty personal to me. It actually was a friend of mine that she has given me permission to use like her story and to share her story, but I'm actually just going to use a different name instead of her real name, just for just privacy and protection and things like that. Alrighty, so her name is going to be Sasha. Sasha, she was a 19-year-old Caucasian female who is a substance abuse user of alcohol and opioids. She was placed in foster care at an early age, and she was never had a stable childhood when she was growing up. Her mother was abused alcohol and drugs, and also her father passed away when she was fairly young from an overdose of drugs and alcohol. So basically, she has 2 young sons and has no custody of either one of them and would like to get them back, but she must stop abusing alcohol and drugs. So she has to have a steady job, a suitable housing, and a steady income to be able to get both of her kids back and have custody of them. She's also been to jail multiple times for minor drug offenses, and one big charge of driving under the influence, in which her license was suspended, but after 1 year, her license was suspended for a year, but she now has them back after she was able to pass 2 drug screenings and 2 drug tests overall. Also, when she got her license back, she has to have a monitor in her car to register the substances or anything if she's using alcohol or under the influence, because if she is, it does not allow the car to start or her to get behind the wheel of the vehicle. But she has been living with her grandparents, but she has been very rebellious with her grandparents because she does not like to follow the rules that they give her, or a curfew, and basically she's trying to just do on her own, and she's just rebelling against. And she is 19 years old. She's a 19-year-old Caucasian female. And as you can tell, she's got a lot of things going on. And the way that I looked at this case study, some of the needs that we need to be addressed with Sasha and helping her to become substance abuse free and be able to get her kids back. We need to make sure she is substance abuse free of alcohol or drugs. Get into her counseling, maybe even a substance abuse clinic for treatment, whether it be like a inpatient facility or an outpatient facility every so often, or for several months or up to a year, however long it takes for her to get clean. And I need to establish contact with social services to see what things that she would need to get both of her kids back, or at least be able to have them 50% of the time. Also, other services I need to look into are like community services, including things to maybe help her get good, stable housing, food stamps, or some type of insurance, or some kind of like income so she'll be able to support herself, the housing, and to get the kids back, to take care of them and get them their needs that they will need. We also need to look into having vocational jobs for her to see what jobs are available, even though because she does have a criminal background, so it will be a little bit harder for her to find a job in the community just because of her background. But we want to make sure, I think another need for her is to help her to understand that she is under her grandparents' roof and they do have her best interest at heart. But we got a lot of things to work with her. So the process that I would take with Sasha, and like with this case study, and the case management process would include having an initial assessment with her, talking about some things that we need to address, background, things that she's going through, planning the type of services that we're going to need, or she's going to need to help be kept substance abuse free. Also, we need to help implement that plan, put that into action to get this I guess her new journey, her treatment journey started, so she can achieve the goals that she is wanting to. I said again, we got to set goals, integration of services, care coordination with other services in the community that will help her to get stable and get on her feet fully. And definitely we need to do some advocacy work with her to help advocate for her, as well as empowerment, self-determination, and obviously at the end of the case management process there will be an evaluation. So obviously she has a long way to go, but this is at the age of 19 to now. If we fast forward a few years now, she is approximately, and after the case management and treatment that she has went through, she's 26 years old now. She no longer lives here in Richmond County. She actually lives at the beach down at Oak Island. She actually has her own place now, has had a steady boyfriend for over 3 years who works very hard. She is actually working herself. She's a part-time worker. And now, since she has moved down there to the beach, she has been seeing both of her boys now. The oldest she sees and keeps almost 50% of the time with her, and the youngest son she sees every other weekend when she comes back up here to the county, to Richmond County. So the big news with her is, since she was able to get treatment and get help, she has actually been substance abuse free from alcohol and drugs. And definitely one of the big things that's helped, I believe, is moving away from here to getting away from the peers that she was around and the environment that she was around that was a very bad influence, and it was very easy for her to get swept into and get caught up into. So when she moved and relocated, it was a big help. Also, she has gotten involved in church activities, which has really helped her to stay clean and stay focused and become more spiritual, and to focus on greater things like taking care of her kids and having a better life and making a better life for herself and for her family and future. For today, like I said, this is a real life situation. This is a person that I do know personally. She is actually, the last time I've talked to her, she is actually a completely different person now that she was before. She has made a complete turnaround in her life. Again, she now has her own place. She's able to see her kids fully. She is, like I said, the big thing is she's no longer alcohol or drugs, or no longer involved in her life. She has her priorities are in line. And basically like I said, the case management process and the few wrong turns that she took helped her realize that she needed help and that she needed treatment to make a better life, not only just for herself but for her kids that she has, because like I said, she started using drugs and she had a rough life from earlier on, and we can clearly tell, like, from both of her parents, like I said, both of her parents were drug abusers, and it just shows you right here, you might get involved in things, such bad things, but it doesn't have to trickle down, and unfortunately it did with her. But thankfully now, Sasha, like I said, she is substance abuse free. She is living a whole lot better life now. Like I said, has kids, sees her kids, has a stable job, stable housing, good income coming in to support both of her kids as well. But it just shows that you don't have to be a product of your society, and you also, if you choose to make yourself to get help and to get clean, you can do it. It's all about the mindset. So thank you for listening to this case study that, like I said again, it was near and dear to my heart because it is a personal friend of mine, and I hope this will actually be able to help somebody to see that no matter what you go through in life, you can always overcome and move forward and make a better life for yourself. Thank you.